In this video, I'm gonna show you exactly how I set up Facebook ads for a painting business. So I'm gonna hop into my computer, into the Facebook ads manager to show you exactly how it's done. So this right here is one of our clients. This is True Blue Painting. Let me just kind of go over like high level what's sort of going on here. So far we have gotten 145 leads in this account. The account has reached 58,000 people at an average amount of 2.6 times each. On ads so far, we have spent $4,178 and we have been getting about $28 per lead. So every time we spend 28 bucks on ads, we get another lead in. Let me talk about this campaign specifically right here. This is our top performer right now. I'm gonna show you pretty much exactly how we're setting all this up. So if you are brand new to doing this, there is basically 3 levels here. There's the campaign, the ad set, and then the ad. The campaign, this is where we identify what the goal is. If we want to get leads, if we want to send people to a website, or what we're trying to do here. In this situation, we are trying to get leads. So that is the goal of this campaign. In the ad set, that is where we identify the target, who's gonna see, how old they are, and stuff like that. This right here on the ad level, this is where pretty much everything that the customer will see is. So you can see here we have a bunch of different ads, and I'll go over this more in examples, but you can see how many leads each one of these have gotten. Like number 12 here, that's one of our best at 37 leads in just from that specific ad. So let me dive into it real quick and just kind of show you how we set all of this up. So this is the campaign that we are working off of. This is a leads campaign. That's the objective here. And that's pretty much all that we did for the from the campaign level is we identified that this is a leads campaign. Next up is the ad set level. Now this is where we identify a couple of things. For this specific ad, we are doing instant forms. So what that means is that there is an instant form on Facebook where we send all of that information to that. We gather their information so that we can book them into an estimate for painting services. Now, in this audience, there's about 800,000 or so people, which is more than enough to make this work. We're running on Facebook and Instagram. And the goal here is to get the maximum amount of leads. We want to get a lot of leads for this guy. Budget, we're spending $30 per day on this. And let's talk about location. These are some of the locations that we are targeting in this campaign. Now, this will look different for yours, obviously, because you'll be in a different area. But basically, we picked the individual locations that we are looking at here. Now, there's not too much that is different here. The age, for age, we are doing between 30 and 65 and up. You know, if somebody is 18 years old, then they're probably not gonna be able to afford your services. So we want them to be at least 30 years old. You can even do 35 or something if you have a lot of people in there. But for the most part, you know, somebody 18, 19 years old, they're probably not gonna be able to afford a $10,000 service. I highly doubt that. And for the most part, the rest is pretty much broad. We have the individual locations, we have the age, sometimes we'll do gender, but for the most part, we keep it relatively broad on this page, and we do a lot of our targeting on the ad itself. So like that's calling out who we're interested in and so on. So let me move on to that. So there are a lot of different ads that we created here and that we're running. So far in this specific ad set, there's 21 different ads, and there's actually 2 ad sets for him. You don't need to worry about that. But we created 21 different versions of ads with him, some without, some of our footage that we already had. And the whole goal here was to find the best performing ads using our whole library that we had and we tested before, and some of his content as well. And a lot of those we pinned against each other to find the highest performing ads. We're using an ad set budget optimization. Basically what that means is that we put the budget here on the ad set level. Let me hop into that here for you so you can see that. That $30 a day that I was talking about, that's managed on the ad set level. So what that means is that this budget will go to whichever one of these is performing best. Like you can see these top ones right here are bringing in most of the leads. Some of those down there, like number 15, number 9, they weren't doing so well, so we turned them off. But what I would recommend is having at least 5 to 10 different variations that you are running at the same time with an ABO, which is an ad set budget optimization. That means that it's gonna go to whichever one of those is performing best. So let's talk about what is actually on this ad. What's on the creative? What's on the copy? Let's go over this first. And I like this copy. Houston homeowners, beware of shady painters. Ever hire a painter who overpromised and underdelivered? Maybe they showed up a little late, left a mess, or didn't even finish the job properly. I'm Nate, and after hearing too many horror stories from my neighbors, I decided to do something about it. That's why I started True Blue Painting. Here's what sets us apart. Exceptional quality, on time every time, spotless cleanup, trust and transparency. Don't settle for less. Click book now to get a free estimate and experience the True Blue difference. Now there's a couple things that we did in here that I wanted to point out. First, we started by calling out the market, Houston. We're talking to them. We're talking to Houston homeowners, okay? That's very important. You gotta call out who you're talking to. And if you can do even lower than that, like even more of a select area, like for example, instead of just Houston, maybe you work in a certain town or even a certain zip code, that would be even more ideal because it's more directed at them. And then we're addressing the elephant in the room. Let's be real, okay? A lot of homeowners either have heard a bad story or have had a bad experience somehow working with a contractor, okay? Somebody, some chuck in the truck or some guy who didn't have his stuff together gave them a bad experience. So for that reason, they just kind of have a bad feeling about working with contractors, working with home service companies, and it's just kind of an uncomfortable thing that a lot of homeowners feel. Not saying that that's right, but it's just the reality. So what did we do here? We called out the market and we addressed the elephant in the room. We want to excel in trust, in transparency, in honesty. We want people to feel really, really good about letting your business into their home, with their kids, with their dog, while they're gone. You need to be trustworthy in order to do that. So that's why we're leading with that foot forward here. Another thing too, at the end, we talked about, there's a very, very clear call to action. If you want this, then click on book now, okay? And when they do that, you can see this is Nate here. He's talking in the video. I know he wouldn't want me to share this, so I'm not gonna show you this one, but I'll share a different one with you. This is what the form looks like here. Book your free estimate with Nate. Again, we keep talking about his name and he's in the video. Which service are you interested in? Interior, exterior, cabinet painting? How soon are you looking to have it done? And there's like a little drop-down menu here. We're gonna get their name, email, phone number, and address. And then from there, once we collect their information, Nate is gonna get a text message that says, hey, Susan Smith filled out this form and wants you to give her a call to schedule that estimate. Let's hop over into some of these other creatives so I can show you exactly what some of these are looking like here. This right here, this one, is one of our top performers. Now this is not Nate in the video, but this is one that we kind of started off with because Nate really didn't have a lot of content back then. So what we did is we used one of our best performing videos to bring in leads, and it's still doing really well for him. So let's talk about why we actually had Nate in the video and why that's important that we're talking about him, okay? People buy from people. They don't buy from businesses. They buy from you because they like you, because they have gotten to know you. So why that's important is because if they know Nate, they see him in the ads, they see him talking, they see a couple of his ads, they're familiar with his face in the area, he starts to become a local celebrity for painting. This is exactly what we want, because when he shows up to the house, that sale is going to be so much easier because they already know who he is. They already know the company. They already know he's trustworthy. They already know the brand. Maybe they've met his crew on some of the videos when he's talking about jobs and talking about the type of work that they do. That is so, so, so important because it already helps to start that lead from a very warm experience, and it makes it a lot easier for Nate to close deals that way. That's the difference between buying from a random business to buying from a friend. It makes the experience a lot easier and makes Nate's life a lot easier as well. There are even some of our painters that they show up to the house and the homeowner's like, oh my gosh, it's you. I see your face all over the place. I didn't realize you'd be here. And then, from there, once that happens, the sale's as good as closed. But it really helps. I strongly encourage you guys to do this. So once they fill out that form, once the lead fills out that form that I just showed you guys, not only is Nate going to get a text message, but that lead is going to go straight into his CRM. So this right here is Drip Jobs. If you do not have it already, I strongly recommend that you check it out. And the reason why I recommend pairing it with Facebook ads is because it is going to help to make sure that you can manage those leads properly. So here is what you need to do. Okay, you need to integrate Facebook with your Drip Jobs account so that what happens is those leads automatically go into your cold leads pipeline. As soon as somebody fills out that form, they go right in here. And that way you will be able to manage them. You can figure out how many people have requested estimates from you, how many estimates are scheduled and on the calendar, how many proposals from those estimates have been sent out. If you do not have a good way, a good CRM, a good way to manage all those leads, they're pretty much useless. Yeah, it's great that people filled out the form, but if those leads aren't getting managed properly or getting organized or getting followed up with or getting talked to, there's no point in running ads. There's a lot of other cool things that you can do here on Drip Jobs. I've made some other videos about it. I'm not gonna go into that for the sake of this video. We're just gonna talk about kind of the CRM, but a lot of other cool stuff here, including automatic follow-up. So instead of just like Ruth right here, Ruth came in 2 hours ago. I'm not sure if Ruth has been contacted yet by Nate. However, Ruth already got a text message, already got an email. All that stuff is automatically done. So it's gonna help improve your set rates and your close rates by linking it to Drip Jobs. So now what? Nate can see how many proposals he has sent out and he's still waiting on confirmation. So right now, there's like $80,000 in this. He can see like, okay, Kathy, that's 5,000 from Facebook. Emma, another 5K from Facebook. Sharon, 1,500, probably a referral that's not marked. 900, yada, yada. A lot of these look like they're coming from Facebook. $17,000 from Facebook. This is extremely important information to know. If you got, it looks like most of this is all from Facebook. If you got $80,000, let's say 70,000 coming from Facebook, you need to know where your money's coming from. So far, off of that $4,000 in ad spend, we have booked $50,000 in jobs, and there is another $80,000 that is in the pipeline getting negotiated right now. That does not even include all these other leads here that haven't been given estimates yet, which is great and extremely powerful. But you wouldn't have known that if you didn't have a good way to manage all those leads. You would just be guessing. So your Facebook ads are set up and getting leads. You got Drip Jobs set up and you have a way to organize your leads. Now what? The next thing that you need to do is either hire an admin to manage those leads or an appointment setter to set them into estimates for you. Now, if you're the business owner and you're watching this, you can call the leads yourself. However, I strongly recommend that you have an admin or an appointment setter do this because realistically, you are busy, okay? You're hopping from job to job. You got people calling you all day. You don't have a dedicated amount of time to spend on calling these leads, following up with them, booking them into estimates, okay? There are automations in Drip Jobs, but that will not escape you from having to call them. You should still call your leads. And realistically, if you don't call that lead as soon as possible, the likelihood of them going into an estimate is very low. If you call them back 2 days later just because you're so busy, they're probably not gonna make it into an estimate. And if they don't make it into an estimate, you're not gonna close that deal. So as soon as a lead comes in here, you need to have your admin or your appointment setter call that lead to book that into an estimate within 5 minutes. If you're on the job, if you're still doing stuff, you probably don't have the time or the ability to do that. And that's okay, but you still need to hire somebody to take care of that for you. So appointment setter, VA, or an admin can easily take care of that for you, no problems at all. That is gonna help to make sure that your leads actually get managed properly and in a timely manner. That'll make sure the leads get called within 5 minutes, followed up with properly, and tracked properly. So we talked about the high-level structure of the campaign. We talked about how to do the targeting. We talked about, some of the things you can say when you're creating the ads. And we even talked about how it's important to have you in the camera to become a local celebrity. You've got those in. You learned about Drip Jobs. You have the ability to manage those leads. Your admin has the ability to track and actually figure out what the heck's going on. We would not have known that in this example, True Blue brought in 50,000 so far from the ads and another 80,000 is still in process. We would not have known any of that if that wasn't in Drip Jobs. Next, we talked about the importance of having an appointment setter or a VA or an admin actually call those leads and set those into appointments for you so that all you have to do is show up and close the deal. But I want to go over the numbers here. What can you realistically expect to get out of doing this system here? So in this example, in the last 30 days, Nate has gotten 33 leads for an average cost of $27 per lead. About 30 leads per month at about $30 per lead. That's pretty good. So 30 leads per month at $30 per lead, that is $900 in ad spend here, okay? At a 30% set rate, that's 10 booked estimates. Assuming that 50% of those close into jobs, that's 5 jobs per month. 30 leads turned into 5 jobs. Now, based on my experience working with dozens of other painters with this, these are pretty realistic examples here, okay? There's probably not gonna be a situation where you get 95% of your Facebook leads into an estimate, but there is realistic that you can do 50%. There is realistic that you can do more than this. Closing rate. This is also pretty realistic too. 50% closing rate. If you are in a situation where you're closing 10%, then that is when it's time to work on your sales skills and see what you can do at the estimate to make that a better experience. So if we were to assume that those jobs are about $5,000 each, which is about the average for the industry, depending on if you're doing cabinet painting, full exterior, whatever you're doing, that is $25,000 per month in jobs. So $900 was spent on ads, 10 estimates were booked, 5 jobs closed, and $25,000 per month. That is pretty good. So what does this look like over the year? That is 360 leads per year. At a 30% set rate, that is 120 booked estimates. Maybe your admin or your VA is pretty good and they can do 40% of those into estimates. Your numbers get even better. But I wanted to give you a realistic example here. So 120 estimates, that turns into $300,000 per month, only assuming that it's $5,000 per job, which realistically, as you guys know, jobs can get pretty pricey. So it's very easy to believe that that can go up to $7,000, $8,000, $10,000, or $15,000, depending on the type of work that you're doing here. So big picture, if you get 360 leads in per year, that's $10,800 spent on ads, 120 estimates. You close half of them at $5,000 each. That's $300,000. So the question that you gotta ask yourself here is, what would an extra $300,000 per year do for your business? What would it do for your personal life? What would you be able to do? Could you hire more people? Could you grow? Could you invest in your business and your team? Heck, even if you're not that great at closing and you only close 25% of your deals at $5,000 each, that's $150,000 per year extra just off of $11,000 spent in ads. So this is exactly how we set up Facebook ads for painting businesses. And you can copy this whole system and you can do this yourself. Or you can just have my team and I do this for you. Let me show you what we do and how our process goes, okay? Step 1 is we're gonna get you hooked up with the right CRM, okay? If you don't have drip jobs, then our partnership will get you hooked up with drip jobs at 60 days for free. That way, when the leads all come in, and they will, when they come in, you'll be able to organize them and manage them properly, okay? You're gonna have the automations for lead nurturing, the CRM to track everything so you can know your numbers, the email and text message automations, you'll have those appointment scheduling options, and me and my team will meet personally with you every single week to hold your hand and make sure you are successful. We pay very close attention to each one of our clients, and we wanna make sure that you are getting the best results from this system. Step 2 is we are gonna clean up and optimize your profiles, okay? If your Instagram, if your Facebook are looking a little sloppy, that's okay. We're gonna clean it up, make sure it looks good and professional so that when we run the ads and people go back to your Instagram or your Facebook, they see, oh, hey, this is a great company. I'm gonna learn more about them. We wanna improve the client experience, make you look professional, and give people that feeling that you are the type of people who charge a lot of money and they're getting a premium service for it. Step 3, we are gonna create and run all of the Facebook and Instagram ads that generate high quality leads every single day. Here's a couple examples, okay? 237 leads at 25 bucks each, 134, 120 leads. We do this across the whole United States and Canada for dozens of different painting clients. And we're also gonna take care of the targeting. We're gonna figure out who your clients are, where are they located, how much money do they have, can they actually afford your services? Using both our proven tested results and your content that we are gonna help you film. I know it might sound a little complicated to film your own content, but all you have to do is film the video on your phone. I'll walk you through what to say, tell you how to do it. You send us the footage, we'll take care of the editing and make sure you look good and professional. Because we wanna turn you into a local celebrity so that when you show up to the job, they already know who you are, and that makes your life a lot easier. Next, our team of appointment setters is going to call those leads once they come in. We are gonna qualify them to make sure that they're the right fit, and we're gonna book them into an estimate. That way, you can stop dealing with broke leads, people who don't have any money, and you can stop wasting your time on tire kickers. We call them, qualify them, and book them right into your calendar, so that all you have to do is show up to the estimate and close the job. So why exactly does this work so well? There's a couple of reasons, okay? Number one is gonna be the consistency, okay? When business is slow or during the off season, you always have a consistent flow of leads that is all handled for you. So, like in the winter, like it's about to be right now, you have a source of leads that you can count on. Now, the second reason that this works so well is that you are getting your leads on autopilot. You don't have to go knock on doors. You don't have to go put all this time and energy into getting those leads. They're all done on autopilot. So you and your sales team doesn't need to rely on those types of things. You're not buying leads directly, cold calling, worrying about Angie's List or things like that. These are exclusive, done for you leads. And the third huge reason why this works so well is because you are taking advantage of compound brand awareness. Like we mentioned about turning you into a local celebrity. We're not just buying leads here. We are building a brand that is gonna serve you forever. The more jobs you do and the more people see your ads, your referrals will grow as well. Your attention on you will grow as well. The amount of calls you get in will grow, and your income will grow exponentially. So what else could you do? You could do this on your own. I just gave you all those tools. You are more than welcome to do this on your own. And I encourage that. That's why I publish a lot of these resources that I do. But right now, I'm talking to the people who want something done for them. They don't want to take the time to learn this and do this on their own. And they just don't want to go through the learning curve of doing this. They want to count on a company who has done this for dozens and dozens of other painters with great results. Maybe they're worried about risking ad spend or wasting money on ads when they don't know if they're working or not. Because we've done this with so many other specific painting businesses, it's very easy for us to do this for you too. Chances are, if you are having a specific problem in your painting business, we have seen it before. Realistically, I genuinely think that you could do this on your own, and probably, if you watch all my videos and all the stuff we have posted out there, you could probably get about 50% of the way there. But if you are the person that wants to get that other 50%, you want top tier results, then I encourage you to take control of your business, take control of your lead flow, and give your Facebook ads to a company that you can count on that has done this dozens of other times for a lot of other painting companies. So there will be a link below. If this is something that interests you, book a call with me. In this call, we'll get to know each other a little bit, and I'll show you exactly how this can work for your business so that you can take control of your lead flow and start having that consistent flow of booked estimates. So I hope this video has provided you guys with some value today. I hope you all have a great and amazing day, and I hope to see you on the call.